Slavery was the scourge of the galaxy, and during the Age of the Republic it was outlawed almost galaxy-wide. However, as we know, there were some refuges where this vile practice continued to flourish. But why was this allowed to happen, and why did no one stop it? Now, we're focusing on the Age of the Republic, particularly before the Clone Wars, as this was the extended amount of time, over a millennia, and the Republic had been pretty successful in stamping out nearly all slavery, making it illegal on all Republic worlds and systems. Before this, much of the galaxy's slavery was held by the Zygerian slave empire in the Outer Rim, which had grown incredibly rich and powerful on the back of people's suffering. However, it was eventually brought down by a Jedi strike team, which presumably arrested the Zygerian royal family and forced their cooperation. Other key slavers included the Hutts and other cartels such as the Pikes. These groups worked under the radar. Or, like the Hutts, they had their own territories outside of the Republic's domain. Now, this doesn't really explain exactly why it's still allowed to happen. The Jedi and the Republic were aware of slavery existing and didn't really do anything from what we see. For Republic worlds who were secretly cooperating with criminals in the slave trade, they would on some occasions be investigated by the Jedi and the Judiciators. This actually made up a decent portion of their jobs. However, with planets outside the Republic's jurisdiction, such as in Hutt space, or many in the far Outer Rim or Wild space, there was limited amounts that the Jedi or Judiciators could actually do. As we know, organisations such as the Hutts were very powerful, and unlike in Legends where they possessed their own fleets and armies, in canon it's far more subtle. They pay bribes, create spice epidemics, assassinate problematic rivals, and they had vast information networks, meaning they knew all of your dirty little secrets. The Hutts were basically dangerous because of their ability to work in the shadows, and this goes for a lot of the criminal syndicates. And this stopped many senators from even considering the Republic taking action against these outsider factions. The Jedi were also pretty powerless. Even the Galactic Peacekeepers were directly tied to the Republic and acted with its authority. So the days of the Jedi jetting off to some small Outer Rim slave colony and liberating the people there were more or less over. They did as the Republic commanded, because however the Jedi acted reflected on how the Republic was perceived. And the Republic didn't want peacekeepers going round doing whatever they wanted. It needed to be authorized by the Senate, and as we said, a lot of those senators were very reluctant to help. We should also note that there was a lot of workarounds available. For example, the Geonosian drones were little more than slaves, but as a social bred class of species, the Republic wouldn't have been able to do anything. The Trade Federation was also incredibly guilty of this. They purposely used lower class Pneumodians who were grubs, or not fully grown Pneumodians, which kind of resemble a weird sort of maggot creature. They then greatly restricted their diet to ensure that they would never fully grow. This technically made them not classed as sentient and therefore were free labour for many of the Pneumodians. This was actually something that Sidious did when he became Emperor. By not classing something as a sentient life form, it means they're not affected by the anti-slavery laws. Now, by the time the Clone Wars began, things were about to get a lot worse for the people of the galaxy. Before the war, there was always the chance that the Jedi or the Judiciators would send a rescue team and would save you. Or maybe the Republic would apply political pressure to ensure your release. However, all of this went out the window with the war. The Jedi were drafted into the military and now served as generals, not peacekeepers, as did most of the Judiciators. And the Republic Senate was obsessed with ending the war. Slavery was put on the back foot. Not only this, but the Separatists weren't really bothered about slavery at all. Being all about small government means that worlds were allowed to govern themselves, and if a world chose to legalize the enslavement of another people, it wasn't really any of the Separatist government's business. Worlds who once relied on slavery for vast income, such as the Zygerians, flocked to the CIS, and even began the foul practice once again. All these factors, combined with the chaos created by the war, made the galaxy a slaver's dream. Refugees were left fleeing their planet unprotected. They were staying in defenseless camps, making them easy prey. And colonists who were hoping to avoid the war altogether would be far too far away to receive any kind of help. Ultimately, the Clone Wars was hell for people, and a dream for slavers. the minor slope before the Empire came in and legalized it completely. But what do you guys think? Who do you think is keyly to blame for slavery in the galaxy? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Please remember to like, share and sub if you did enjoy it, as it's really appreciated and it helps the channel grow. Also, don't forget to follow me on Twitter at @TheLoreGuy and tick the bell for regular updates. Thanks again for watching. I really do hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.